welcome back to Gracie May's Tarot. So today we're going to be picking our piles from the thumbnail. So we'll have 3 groups to choose from. So you'll pick a heart on the thumbnail and then you'll go to the description box where you will find the timestamps for your pile. We're going to be looking at today what is currently going on in your future spouse's life. What is happening in their life currently will help us kind of figure out, is it a good time for you guys to meet? Does it seem likely that you'll meet in the near future? We'll see like how they're coping, what they're going through, get some hints about their personality, things that are going on in their life. And yeah, so we're also going to end your reading with some of the Spark Romance matchsticks because we haven't used these, I feel like, in a little while, so we'll go ahead and pull those out too at the end of your reading. But yeah, I will see you guys soon. All right, for everyone who chose pile 1, the first heart, welcome to your reading. All right, so we're going to be shuffling on camera. Let's find out what is currently going on in your future spouse's life at the time that you are watching this reading. So this is a timeless reading, so you don't have to watch this close to the posted date for it to resonate. Okay, pile 1. A big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. And pile 1's future spouse's higher self is also welcome to come through. What is going on currently at the time of this reading for pile 1 and their future spouse? Pile 1 and their future spouse, please, Spirit. Pile 1 and their future spouse, please, Spirit. What is going on in their future spouse's life at the time of this reading? Okay, bottom of the deck here we have the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands can really kind of talk about being overworked in some ways. It's not quite to the level of the 10 of Wands, but it's almost like you've been working towards something and you're at a point of feeling overwhelmed, and it's sort of like, well, where do I go from here? Like, do I want to continue on this path? How do I feel about this? Because you can see like how this fairy is standing by this dragon that they've caught, and they're kind of like, well, what now? Like, I've trapped this dragon, but what am I gonna do with it? Like, I didn't really think this through. You know, how am I meant to move this dragon? Like, what am I gonna do with it? It's sort of contemplating like, how do I even get this dragon out of here? Like, I got as far as trapping it, but I didn't think this all the way through. Like, I can't move this dragon. I can't do anything with this dragon, especially not alone. And it's sort of like at this point in your life of like, well, I've gone so far down this path. Is this even the path that I want to be on? Is this even right for me? I didn't really think it through, like, past a certain point. Do I need to ask for help now? So an example of this could be like, I've graduated school. Okay, now I have my degree. What am I going to do with it? Like, I didn't really fully think it through. Like, what am I going to do with this degree now that I have it? I was just so focused on graduating. I didn't really think of what my plans were going to be once I graduated. Or maybe you've been working at a company for so long, working your way up. You never really stopped to think, is this what I want to do? Is this really what I want to do long term? I was just going with the flow and working hard for so long. I didn't really think it through all the way to the outcome. I think for your future spouse especially, it's also sort of like, I've been working so hard, like building up my finances and trying to get where I'm gonna go, like trying to get to this point of financial security, but I didn't really think about other areas of my life. So maybe your future spouse is at a point right now where they're starting to understand there's more to life than just my finances. There's more to life than just my career and this financial stability that I've been chasing, like, even if I was completely where I wanted to be financially, who would I share it with? Like, what other part of my life is this going to make sense for? Sort of like, you know, you're so busy preparing this beautiful home. You're so busy preparing this beautiful home. And then you finally, brick by brick, have built up this beautiful house for yourself. And then you kind of look around and you're like, oh, there's no one in this big, beautiful house except for me. I'm all alone. And you're kind of like, huh, like, this doesn't feel quite as good as I thought it would. I guess I didn't think it past building the house. So it's kind of like that. Your future spouse is at a point where they're like, well, I've been so focused on my goals that I didn't really stop to think about what else was going to go on in my personal life. Like, what else is there? You know, surely there's more to life than just this. And I think also your future spouse is at a point of being overwhelmed. They've been independent for so long that they've really just have gotten so used to it that they never stop to question how much nicer it would be if they did have some help. So I feel like they're at this turning point in their life. And their life is expanding here because they got the World, the Chariot, the Three of Wands. That's a lot of major, big energy. I mean, this is the card of a new chapter, a new adventure, really taking actionable steps, like moving in a different direction. Like, there's actual movement. You're not just thinking about it. Then there's the Chariot, another card about movement. The World, a card about completion, a new start, ending out an old cycle. So honestly, for some of you, your future spouse is literally traveling right now. They are getting out of this like a normal stuck routine, and they're doing something entirely different. So some of you, your future spouse is actively traveling right now. For others of you, they're just moving in a different direction in their life because they're closing out some old cycle. I'm actually going to get some clarifying cards for these, but for right now, that's what I can see. And I was picking up a lot of financial messages, career messages with this Nine of Wands, because we also have this Four of Pentacles here, which makes me think that they've been really focused on their material security, their material wealth, their resources. I think that they've probably been neglecting this emotional side to themselves, and now it's coming out. And so I feel like for some of them, there's this desire potentially to have children, and that's why we have the Knave of Pentacles here. For others of you, this is just signifying that they're still really working on building up their financial stability, and they're not quite there yet, but they are like very ambitious, very hardworking, and very focused on holding on to what they have, but also growing what they have. And so, you know, they're really busy, and that's why it's almost like the universe is trying to push them in a new direction and expand their horizons, get them to see that there's more to life than just work, but also the universe is guiding them towards more financial success. So it's almost like the universe is just trying to expand their life in some way. Now, for some of you, this could be you, or this could be your future spouse. We'll see when we get some clarifying messages. But this is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. This is divine feminine energy. For some of you, this could just be signifying that your future spouse has really been neglecting their emotional life. And so they're calling this energy in. They're trying to connect more to that divine femininity, that social part of their life, that part of their life where they do need nurturing, they do need connection, they do need social support. They understand that, like, you know, life isn't meant to be just about survival. Life is meant to include connection. Life is meant to include emotional fulfillment. It's not all about hard work. So let's actually just get some clarifying cards here to see what else we can find out. So Spirit, can we please clarify The World and the Chariot. The World and the Chariot, please, Spirit. It would help if I shuffled a little bit better here. So let's clarify the World first, and then we'll clarify the Chariot. So a card to clarify. Okay, the Eight of Wands. There is some big changes coming in their life, and they're coming fast. Eight of Wands is positive change, and it's usually something that we've manifested. So let's see. Can we get another clarifying card, please, Spirit, for the World? Ten of Swords. Okay. They are closing out a really difficult chapter here. With the Ten of Swords, I mean, they have been deeply, deeply hurt. There's been some sort of pain here, some setbacks, some challenges. Yeah, some really hard things they've had to overcome. And for some of them, it could have been their own like self-limiting beliefs that they've had to overcome. Maybe they were standing in their own way, but they've done a lot of healing to close out this cycle with the World. I mean, that's a very positive card. It's a card about completion. And then with the Chariot next to it, yeah, they've definitely closed out a chapter where they had a lot of fear, a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of anxiety. Yeah, there's positive change, there's movement, which is great because that could signify that they're moving towards you. Let's clarify the Chariot, please, Spirit. Clarifying the Chariot here. Clarifying the Chariot, please, Spirit. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Because we have the Empress here also clarifying the World. And remember how I said the Eight of Wands is positive changes that we've manifested? The Empress is creation itself. I like to think of the Empress almost as like the feminine sort of answer to the Magician, because I just think of the Empress and I think of creation, and I think of willing your own creativity into the world and creating what you want, you know, because the Empress represents birth and fertility, but she also represents creativity in and of itself. And so I feel like this is your future spouse, like creatively solving their problems, creatively manifesting, willing their desired outcome into actual 3D existence. So yeah, there's definitely, your future spouse is showing up with a lot of divine feminine energy. It's like they're being called back to this divine femininity that I feel like maybe they were separated from for a while, which is really beautiful. And again, when we talk about energy, we're not talking about gender, okay? Now with the Chariot here, clarified by the Eight of Pentacles, this tells me that they're moving in a really positive direction financially. I mean, they're moving from the Four of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles. So this is, you know, like I'm clinging to what little bit I have. This is, I'm really good at what I do. I'm making good money doing it, and I'm becoming an expert in what I do, if I'm not an expert already. So that's a huge, huge shift. Huge shift. Okay. Let's clarify the Three of Wands too, because why not while we're at it. The Five of Swords. Yeah, they're definitely leaving this behind, because this is the wounded warrior, okay? This is someone who's had to fight and claw their way out. So whether that was, you know, like maybe a previous workplace situation that was very toxic to them, family members, friends, any issues they have with past partners, but there were definitely people who tried to challenge them, tried to hurt them, tried to bring them down, and they're closing out that cycle with the World, and they're leaving this behind. You know, they're victorious, but they're leaving sort of the drama and the conflict behind. They're moving on. Yep. And I think for a lot of them, they are wanting to start a family, or at the very least, they're craving someone that they can take care of, someone they can nurture. So for some of them, they are going to want kids with you. For others of you, it's sort of like this attitude of kind of like a Venus and Cancer. That's my own placement, but this sort of like, I love you, so I want to take care of you. I want to nurture you. They have a very soft kind of approach to love, very, yeah, like I said, very nurturing, very caring approach to love. Okay, let's find out some more information. We'll get into your oracles. What is going on in pile 1's future spouse's life at the time of this reading, please, Spirit? What is going on in pile 1's future spouse's life currently? What is going on in pile 1's future spouse's life currently? Okay, so we have moonlit baths, take it easy, relaxation, rest, and pause. I definitely feel like this is needed for them because when these massive changes come in, it's going to feel really overwhelming, okay? This is really, even positive change can feel like a lot, and you definitely need to take care of yourself. So I feel like this is sort of the universe kind of pushing your future spouse to take some time for self-care, especially if they've been in this 9 of Wands energy. And then with the 8 of Wands coming in, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And then the 10 of Swords, I mean, they've been through so much. So I think there's a greater appreciation for them in their life about taking care of themselves, making time for rest, making time for play, understanding that, again, it's not all about work, work, work. And then we have feel to flow, let go of expectations and control, release, freedom, surrender. I think they're stepping into this divine feminine energy where they are going to be really receptive. You know, like I said, it's like they've been trying to manifest, and maybe for a while they were being really type A about it, really trying to be controlling, sort of micromanaging the universe. And I feel like now they understand patience, now they understand divine timing, now they understand how to let go, how to release, so that they can receive these blessings, receive, you know, the world card energy here. And this feel to flow also makes me think of this 8 of Pentacles. You know, they're in the flow state when it comes to their work. They've reached a good point to where they know how to be successful, and they know that they're good at what they do. So maybe if they had some fear or anxiety about it before, like, is this going to be successful? Am I on the right path? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? You know, am I ever going to get that financial security? I feel like now they feel a lot better about that than they have in the past. And I feel like, too, they've just really mastered this divine feminine energy of surrender, of being in the energy of receiving. You know, they're not chasing maybe as much as they were before. It's like they've understood how to balance that chariot energy of like going forth in one direction versus taking a pause when they need to, and they have a clear vision of where they're headed, and they're not so torn maybe as they were before, and they're headed in, you know, a much better direction than I think previously, especially because we have the 3 of Wands there, and we have Soul's Window. Listen to what speaks to your soul, purpose, passion, truth. And there's a lot of fire energy here too, which is really nice, but I feel like there's in so much, they're in alignment with their soul's purpose that much to a greater degree than they were before. I'm not going to say they're in total alignment, but they're definitely headed in a better direction than they were before. I feel like they're a lot more connected to that inner truth, and they're living a life that is a lot more passionate. You know, they're not sort of questioning like, how did I go so far down this path, and you know, like, to what end? Like, what was the end goal here? Like, what am I going to do next? I feel like they've cleared this energy with the World card and the Chariot and the 8 of Wands, and they're moving in a better direction. You know, they have a clear path forward now. Okay, pile 1. Any astrological information, Spirit? Any zodiac signs? Any houses? That can give us some more clarity about where pile 1's future spouse is in their life currently. Pile 1's future spouse, where are they in their life currently, please, Spirit? Where are they in their life currently? What do we need to know? Okay, so we have the 6th house, which is associated with Virgo, and we also have the 9th house, which is associated with Sagittarius. So we have the house here of spiritual growth. It makes sense to me, again, like they could be traveling right now. They could be traveling. Or if they're not physically traveling, they're just moving in a better, more optimistic, more hopeful, direction in their life that is also in greater alignment with their inner truth, because that is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the explorer, is the philosopher, but also a Sagittarius is someone who really values truth, like deep inner truth, and they're not afraid to express it. And Sagittarius is a very happy-go-lucky energy. It's associated with Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion. And if you'll remember in the beginning, I said with the World card, the universe is really trying to expand the scope of your future spouse's life right now. They don't want them to live this narrow life where they're always concerned about their immediate finances and their immediate security and stability. They want them to have a more expansive life. Could be too that maybe your future spouse is contemplating a big move. So maybe they're thinking about moving to a different city, moving to a different state, a different country, and maybe that is going to be how you two meet. Maybe they are from a different area or a different culture, a different country, a different background than you are, and they're considering this big move. If that doesn't resonate, could be that they're actively traveling right now, or like I said, there's just a complete different redirection of their path that they were headed in life associated with their career. And with the 6th house, I feel like they're really changing up their daily routine. Remember how I said with this moonlit baths and take it easy, and even the Field of Flow card I feel like is echoing this 6th house card, because your future spouse now has a greater appreciation for health and wellness in a holistic sense. They understand the importance of self-care, but not just like physical self-care, but mental self-care, spiritual self-care. They're really sort of reevaluating their daily routine. And is this daily routine serving me, or is it hurting me? Is it causing me burnout? Is it causing me to neglect my emotional state, my mental health? How can I change my daily routine to better serve me and my goals long term and my overall wellness? So there's a big focus here on health. So maybe they're changing up their diet, they're starting a new exercise regimen, they're just making time for meditation, for relaxation, maybe they're joining a yoga studio, something like that. They're making changes in their daily routine. Maybe they're going to start fasting, or maybe they're going to start, going to bed at a different time, changing their sleep schedule, just something with their daily routine that they're changing up. And this 6th house also can talk about our workplace. So again, maybe there's a change in their workplace environment or how they respond to their current workplace environment. With the Moon card, I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty though. And that makes sense. When you start a new chapter, when all of these changes come in, and this is like fast, unexpected change. So it makes sense that there's a lot of uncertainty. Your future spouse is really having to rely on their intuition. And also, it's again echoing that Cancerian energy of like, I really want to nurture someone. And because they don't have you in their life yet, I feel like they're nurturing themselves. I feel like they're trying to make a greater effort to take care of themselves because you're not there yet. You're not in the picture yet. And so, yeah, they're sort of turning that self-love, that nurturing, I want to take care of someone energy onto themselves, because I feel like your future spouse is really a giver, and maybe that's something they've struggled with, and that could have led to that 10 of Swords of them being really heartbroken in the past when people have taken advantage of them. And remember how I said it's like they're being called into their divine feminine energy? We have Yang here. So this is divine masculine energy. So I feel like this is the energy that they're typically most comfortable with. I feel like they typically feel better about themselves when they're productive, when they're go, 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 when they're ambitious, when they're really thinking things through. And I feel like now they're trying to feel more. They're trying to slow down. They're trying to take care of themselves. They're trying to trust in the universe. They're trying to practice acceptance, practice receiving instead of giving, instead of doing, instead of moving. They're trying to get in that divine feminine energy, because I think this divine masculine energy is where they typically feel most comfortable. So yeah, it's a completely different approach to life. You know, they're really changing up a lot right now. Yes. And even with the moon here, I think of divine femininity, you know, so I think of water, I think of emotion, I think of spirituality, I think of, you know, responding to the tides, right? Being in connection with nature, all of that reminds me of femininity. Okay. Especially with Yang here, we have the sun, and the moon is literally turned sideways and buried beneath all these roots. So okay, pile 1. What is going on in pile 1's future spouse's life currently, please, Spirit? Oh, that's funny. We have the marten and foxglove. We have mischief. I'll explain that in just a second. And we have the chickmunk and the laurel. We have success. So the laurel here echoes the six of wands in tarot, which is the card of victory, because the man, I think he's on a horse and he's surrounded by all these wands, and he's wearing like a crown of laurel. So that's really echoing to me the 6 of wands, and it even says success here. So there's something career-wise where they're going to feel victorious. They're going to have a really big win, and that's going to push them from that 4 of Pentacles to that 8 of Pentacles that we saw in the beginning, which is very exciting. I mean, I feel like it's really well-deserved. And I feel like they're going to learn that lesson that sometimes it's not all about just hard work. Your future spouse has been working hard for a really long time. Sometimes it's about asking for help from the universe and sitting back and just having trust and using that law of attraction to call in whatever opportunities or gifts that you are asking for, you know, understanding the power of that empress, of creating from your mind, creating something from nothing, and being in that divine feminine receptive energy, and receiving this gift of success from the universe simply because you deserve it and you asked for it. Okay? And then with the marten and the foxglove, we have mischief. To me, this is signaling that your future spouse is starting to learn how to loosen up and to have a little bit of fun, to not feel quite so uptight as they were before. So I feel like that's a really nice change of pace for your future spouse. Let's actually use our months of the year card to see how long your future spouse is going to stay in this energy. So pile 1, how long is their future spouse, please, Spirit, going to stay in the energy that we have seen today? So we have December, we have May, and we have January. So these are possibilities. So feel free to claim whichever month is calling out to you. I'm actually going to arrange these like this. So these are possibilities for how long your future spouse is going to stay in this energy. Okay, let's see potential months for when you could meet your future spouse. What are potential months for pile 1 to meet their future spouse? We have July. We have March. When can they meet their future spouse? And we have April. So March, April, or July. And so given the months that you got, they were very spread out for how long they were staying in this energy. So potentially you could meet them while they were still in the current energy that we described just now. Yeah, because it was like literally January to December. So sorry, pile one, that doesn't like really clarify things for you, but at least you'll, if you meet someone and you kind of think about this reading and things are lining up with what we covered, then that could help you decipher like who your future spouse is. And actually, I guess I'll just leave these here. And let's end. Oh my gosh. I completely forgot to pull our romance angels and our love story. I am so sorry. I was just like, da-da-da-da, like moving along. And we didn't even ask about their love life, which is probably what you want to know the most about. I'm sorry, pile one. Pile one is always the pile where you're trying to figure things out, so I'm sorry, guys. All right, pile one, what is going on in their future spouse's love life currently, please, Spirit? What is going on in their future spouse's love life currently? What is going on in their love life currently, please, Spirit? What is going on in their love life currently? What is going on in their love life currently? Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, yeah. So we have trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Remember how I said with the law of attraction, they are really needing to trust that if they are trying to manifest you, if you are part of what they are trying to manifest, and I would strongly suspect that you are, because remember how I said the universe was really pushing them to expand what they're focusing on, to stop just focusing on this Four of Pentacles and to really start focusing on abundance beyond just the material, abundance in connection and love and friendship and family, all of that good stuff. This is it. Like, the universe is really trying to teach them about the law of attraction, patience, and divine timing. That is really coming through very strongly. It's asking them to trust, asking them to step into that divine, feminine, receptive energy where they can actually receive a blessing and not have to work so hard. With the let your friends help you, I feel like if they have some close friends around them, their friends are really trying to give them some good advice. They may not be listening or they may not be taking it currently, but I do feel like there's at least one person in their life that's really trying to give them some solid advice. And then we have release your ex and reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And then we have release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. I said I'm sorry, pile one, because I feel like they're still working on this. They're still trying to release their ex. So maybe their ex is trying to contact them. And it could be that maybe they don't want their ex back, but they struggle to let go of the hurt and the pain and possibly the trust issues and the control issues that they have. And this makes sense because we saw the Ten of Swords in the very beginning, remember? Now there is movement, like we said, in a more positive direction. There are some major changes going on in their life. I don't think that they are going to take their ex back, not at all. But I think honestly it's more so them releasing that energetic cord, them releasing this attachment to their pain and their hurt, and understanding how to trust and how to be emotionally vulnerable again, I think is the real challenge for them. Because I don't think it's that they necessarily want their ex back. I'm not really picking that up because we got so many cards in your tarot talking about positive movement and a new chapter. So I don't think it's that they want that person back. I think it's that they struggle to trust other people and they struggle to open up and maybe forgive their ex, or you know, their ex is still irritating to them in some way, something like that. Okay, pile one, let's get a little bit more clarity on what is going on in their love life, please, Spirit? What is going on in pile one's love life currently? What is going on? We have maturity. Influence. Pile one. Future spouse. What is going on in their love life? Okay. Yep. This makes a lot of sense. Bottom of the deck, we have strings. I feel like your future spouse has really had to let go of control issues, and not like they're controlling of other people, but that they are trying to control too much in terms of manifesting you. And Spirit is like, let us handle this. Like, can you just sit back and be ready to receive? Can you just do that for us? Like, can you stop trying to control the outcome and how this goes? Like, can you just settle down, please? It's kind of the message. But this influence card makes me think in a couple different ways. Like, I think their friends are trying to be a positive influence and help them, especially in that like healing process. But I also think there's a negative influence from their ex, where their ex is still maybe trying to come back into their life, or their ex is still like using them, or trying to hurt them, or trying to manipulate them, or just energetically there's this tie that isn't beneficial, that isn't serving your future spouse anymore with their ex. And then we have maturity here. I think there's so much growth. There is so much growth from your future spouse. I mean, they have really done a lot of work. I mean, we saw that with the World card and the Ten of Swords. I mean, they are so resilient. They are so strong. They have learned so many lessons. Yeah, I mean, that's a great spot for your future spouse to be in. I mean, it's like they're heading out of the woods. I don't think they're fully out of the woods yet, but they're definitely on their way to a better place in their lives, all around, really. I think also they're really craving commitment, and they're really craving a mature, healthy, balanced connection. They're really sick of the games. They're sick of being hurt. They're sick of the, the manipulation. They're over it. Okay, let's just end now with some Spark Romance Matchsticks. So what will you do with your future spouse when you're together, please, Spirit? What will pile one do with their future spouse once they are together, please, Spirit? What will they do? Okay, so we have be vulnerable together, trade one of your deepest fears. Didn't I say your future spouse is learning how to be vulnerable, how to trust again? That's beautiful. Okay, we have go on a road trip, planned or spontaneous. We got a lot about travel in this reading. I'm not surprised that came out. And we have play hooky for a day together. Sorry, pile one, your video of course cut out at the very, very end. There was an Amber Alert on my phone, so I guess it stopped recording. So I was just saying play hooky for a day together, and I was saying that makes a lot of sense because we got the Moonlit Baths card, which tells me that your future spouse really does learn that lesson about taking time for rest and taking time, for like quality time to spend with the people that you love. So I love to see that. So yes, pile one, this was your reading. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you always know when I upload. And I will see you in my next one. Take care. All right, all my pile twos, welcome to your reading. So let's find out what is currently going on in your future spouse's life. What is currently happening in your future spouse's life? A big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. And pile two, your future spouse's higher self is also welcome to come through. So we're going to start with like general messages, and then we'll also pull some love and romance oracle cards as well. So we've got like a pretty long reading, I guess. Okay, pile two, what is going on currently in your future spouse's life? Now, This is a timeless reading, so it'll be whenever you find this video. So you don't have to watch it close to the posted date for it to resonate. Okay, pile 2. What is going on in your future spouse's life currently? Okay, the 2 of Cups. We have the Priest. We have the 5 of Pentacles. Ace of Cups, 2 of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Bottom of the deck here we have the King of Swords. This is a little bit interesting to me. I almost get this sort of like this sort of wistful, kind of almost like this this sense of daydreaming. You know, this sense of, and I think honestly it's this 5 of Pentacles card and this Ace of Cups being next to each other that is really, really calling out to me right now, because it's sort of this wistfulness, this sort of, I don't know, this sort of like, there's been a storm, there's been some destruction. You can see like the half-eaten fruit, the trampled baskets and flowers, the pentacles kind of thrown everywhere. You know, the garden seems kind of bent out of shape. She seems really disappointed, really sad. And then it's next to this Ace of Cups. So it's sort of like, okay, there's 2 energies here. And this wasn't the case in pile 1 as much, but I feel it very strongly in your reading, where your energy and your future spouse's energy is really strong here. Your energies are sort of intermingling right now. You guys are energetically like very close to one another. So one of you right now is struggling with this 5 of Pentacles. So if it's not you, it's them, okay? One of you is in a sense of loss, a sense of disappointment. This is like, with my immediate finances, with my basic sense of security, I'm feeling a sense of loss right now. I'm feeling a sense of disappointment. Things are not as stable and secure and comfortable as I wish that they were. And I'm feeling really disappointed and like I don't know where to go. And with the 5 of Pentacles, like usually it's a card where you can see like hope is nearby. In this depiction, there isn't a lot of hope. Like there's no like obvious help nearby. Like she's just alone. And so what I think is so powerful though is that it's next to this Ace of Cups. And so I feel like even though there's a sense here with this fairy of being disappointed, feeling unstable, feeling this financial insecurity or this scarcity of resources, through it, there's still self-love. There's still compassion and gentleness towards herself. She's not blaming herself for this predicament. She understands that these forces were outside of her control, and she did the best that she could. She still has a lot of love for herself, and if this was disappointment in love, there's still this faith in love. There's still this belief that love does exist and I can find it. I can get to this cup again. There is abundance. There is resources, love, hope, fulfillment outside of myself. I can reach it. And so that's very powerful. And I feel like this fairy is really trying to call in a King of Swords figure, is really trying to call in someone who would be representing this priest. Because this is someone, like both of these characters here are divine masculine energies. But not only that, these are both people who value truth, who value honesty. So this is someone who's been lied to, someone who has been betrayed, someone who can't rely on or depend upon someone else. These are energies where they're very reliable, they're very dependable, they're very forthright, they're very honest, they're very blunt, they are truthful. People who value truth. They're different kinds of truth, but there's still truth. There's still honesty here. There's still stability. There's still security. These are two energies that could easily swoop in and kind of save the day, so to speak. So I feel like one of you is in this Five of Pentacles energy and feeling a lack of hope, but still dreaming that they could someday meet a partner that wouldn't lie to them, that wouldn't betray them, that would be someone that they could build a stable future with, someone that would be reliable and dependable, someone who has a vision, because these are both very mature energies as well, okay? So there's a big desire for that, for sure. Yeah. And it's not like this person is just waiting around and not trying to do something for themselves, because they are with the Seven of Pentacles. It's just slow growth. There's a lot of patience that's involved here. So maybe they've moved past this energy a bit, but they still fear that it could come back. Like they know what this true scarcity is, and they're afraid that they could slip back into it because they've had some growth, but Seven of Pentacles is slow and steady, wins the race. It requires a lot of patience because you're planting seeds, but your seeds haven't grown to the point to where you can harvest them. So you're growing your garden, but it's going to take time, and there may be still some rough patches, some rough seasons to go through. So this is going to take a while, and so this fear of returning to this Five of Pentacles energy could really be at the forefront of their mind, but they're still hopeful, and they're still wishing for this partner, this future spouse, this partner, this true equal to come through. And I feel like they want to be with someone who is inspiring to them. You know, they want to be with someone who is at a more elevated level of success, because they want to be with someone that they can look up to, because they're like, I want to be with someone who is representative of where I'm trying to go, and I'm trying to go towards success, towards stability, towards security, and I'm an honest person, and I'm seeking that truth in other people. That's coming through very strongly. And so I feel like they also desperately want someone to talk to. They desperately want someone to talk to, someone to confide in, someone who can support them, who can share in their fears and their victories and their failures, you know, someone who will be there through all the ups and downs. And again, like, if this is you, then you know this is your future spouse. But if this isn't you, you know what I'm saying? Like, because your energies here are intermingling. So I don't know if this is you or your future spouse. I honestly can't tell from the cards that we have so far. Maybe when we get into the oracle, I can. But I mean, if you're in this energy here, then you should know, and you should know this is your future spouse. So yeah, whichever way it is, I may honestly flip back and forth as I'm talking, because I don't know, like your higher self and their higher self are like both here, and they both have things they want to say. So again, like I feel like maybe you could be meeting this person soon, or you just have that strong of a spiritual connection to them. Now with the Two of Wands here, this to me is like they are really contemplating on the sort of like their goals, like the moves they want to make, they're planning. And so I do think they're taking action, but I feel like they're sort of at the start of their journey. They haven't fully realized all of their goals, but I think it's because they're so ambitious and they have so much that they want to do. So I think it is going to take a long time, because what they're trying to achieve isn't anything small. They have really big dreams for themselves. And part of that dream is this connection. Like they are really wanting to call in this connection. It's like, I don't want just that financial stability and security. I want love. I want true, happy, healthy, balanced connections. And I think it's not only in romantic love. They're not only wanting to get married, but they're also wanting fairness and truth and balance in their friendships and in their connections with their family members too. I feel like they want this across the board. I feel like they've been hurt a lot. They've been let down a lot, and they've really had to depend on just themselves. So it makes sense that they would want to call in someone who is really strong, really sturdy, really reliable, really, again, like trustworthy. Okay, let's get some oracle cards here. I don't feel like I need any clarifiers, but if we need to clarify anything, we'll use the Crystal Unicorn Tarot deck. Yeah, your message is pretty straightforward. It's just sort of a bit overwhelming because both of you are coming through pretty strongly here. Okay, pile 2. What is going on in their future spouse's life currently, please, Spirit? What is happening in pile 2's future spouse's life currently? Pile 2's future spouse. Okay, yeah. I think for a lot of you, your future spouse may be in this energy. And I say that because we have Neon City, the lights are blinding, disillusionment, deception, and secrets. I feel like they have felt this energy of like, maybe not literally, but I feel like that energy of, I am alone in the world. I am alone in this new, strange place. That feeling of being alone in a new city where you're just surrounded by crowds and lights and noises, and you know, you can kind of see like almost like the craters here. Like there are dangers lurking everywhere, like traps you can fall into. And even Saturn being here, like Saturn is Father Time, Saturn is Capricorn, Saturn is lessons learned the hard way, Saturn is patience, Saturn is being put through challenges for your greater good, being tested. Yeah, it's not the most compassionate energy, right? It's very much in that divine masculine energy. But yeah, I feel like even if your future spouse hasn't experienced that literally of feeling alone in a new city, it's sort of that feeling in their life though, of feeling like they can only depend upon themselves, of feeling overwhelmed, of feeling like they're being put through challenge after challenge after challenge, and they're wondering when they're going to get a break, and when are they going to get good people around them that they can trust and rely and depend upon, so they don't always have to be so strong, so they don't always have to work this hard. They're kind of wondering like, when is my break gonna come? Because this has been, I feel like this has been their energy for years. Like they've just been put through the ringer. And then we have Rainbow Road. You are on the right path. Higher self, alignment, and authenticity. If they are on the path to alignment with their higher self, then they are well on their way to meeting you. That is for certain. So again, I feel like the spiritual connection, you can see the third eye here with the chakra being in alignment here. They are spiritually connected to you. You could be seeing them in your dreams. You could be having visions of them. Maybe like you think a random thought and you're like, why did I think that? That could be their higher self like coming through, trying to send you a message. You could be seeing a lot of angel numbers or a lot of signs and synchronicities before you meet this person. But there's definitely a deep spiritual connection here. This is like soulmate energy. And I will say as well, this is such a relief for them in their life, right? To know that they're on the right path after all this heartache and disappointment. I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for them. And then we have the last chapter, write your own story, closure, resolution, and forgiveness. Yeah, I feel like they're leaving this behind. And we have the Ace of Cups. This is a fresh new start. I feel like they're leaving behind people who mistreat them, leaving behind, honestly, circumstances that weren't good enough for them. Like, they deserve so much more than that Five of Pentacles energy. And with starting a new story and taking control of their life, definitely reminds me of that Two of Wands, because when one story ends, a new story begins, right? And the new story is that Ace of Cups. So you could literally be sort of the first chapter in this new story, okay? So I feel like they're closing out their last chapter, and when the new chapter of their life starts, when that new cycle starts, that will be when you enter their life, because we had the Ace of Cups. So, like I said, I think this meeting is relatively soon, this reunion, because I do think there's likely past life connection being a factor here, because it feels like not a meeting but a reunion of souls, a reunion of souls. Okay, pile 2, any zodiac information, astrological information, any significant houses. What do we need to know about pile 2, please, Spirit? Pile 2's future spouse, pile 2's future spouse. Okay, bottom of the deck we have Pluto. This is deep transformation. This is Scorpio energy. They are going through a lot. Like I said, they've been through so much healing, so much growth, and it's like the light is coming back in. We have the sun, we have fire, there's adventure, there's more confidence, there's change, there's creativity, there's passion. I feel like whatever they're working on now in their career, they're so much happier about it. There's so much more hopefulness, so much more optimism. They're not being so weighed down by it anymore. And they're being really brave. I think they're taking risks. I think they're taking chances, whereas before they were so tied to that fear of returning to that Five of Pentacles. I feel like the light is coming back in, and the passion is coming back in, and I think that you will be kind of in addition to that, because we have Aries as well. So this could be your energy or theirs, because again, you guys are so muddled for me, and I apologize for that, but I'm not gonna lie, you guys, your energies are so connected, it's really hard for me to decipher like who you are and who they are. But yeah, with this Aries energy and the fire and the sun, we have Leo energy as well. There's just this like impulsivity, but in a good way. Like, I'm gonna take inspired action. I'm going to just go for it. I'm gonna have that full card energy of like jumping off the cliff, you know, like I'm gonna be open to love. I'm gonna be open to new experiences. I'm gonna take a chance, take a risk. I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna be brave. Yeah. Because I feel like they're really going after what they want, and they don't care. Aries doesn't care what anyone else thinks. And Aries really puts themselves first. Because again, I feel like they're like, I'm not going to overgive anymore. And I'm not going to give away my cup to people who aren't willing to reciprocate. I'm going to save my cup for the right person. And you, pile 2, are going to be that right person to reciprocate all that fire, all that heat, all that love, all that passion. You know, because I feel like your future spouse may get energetically like overwhelmed by people who are like pessimists and people who complain a lot and are really negative, because I feel like there's such a light, there's so much fire and sun here, there's such a light, they're so hopeful and happy. It really brings them down, and it reminds them of that Five of Pentacles, and they don't want to stay in that energy. They don't want to go back to it. They have such a fear of that energy. They don't want to be back in it. And so anyone that reminds them of that, it's like they don't have time for it. You know, they're being selfish now in a healthy way. You know, they're putting themselves first. Leo energy also when they need to. You know, they're not overextending themselves. They're not exposing themselves to negative energy that really brings them down. They're setting healthy boundaries. They're doing really well for themselves. And I feel like there's also an energy here of them really taking care of themselves, of really focusing on their wellness. And I think also they're sort of evaluating like what needs to change in my daily life for me to get closer to my goals. Like how can I manage my time better so that I'm still taking care of myself, but I'm not feeling overwhelmed. I'm not feeling that burnout. Because they have a lot going on. Like I said, they have a lot of big goals for themselves, so that's going to take a lot of time management. Now, we also have this Cancer energy here. So, honestly, again, like this is a bit muddled. I feel like this is sort of the dynamic between the both of you. Like when you're together, there's this deep emotional depth, this deep understanding of what the other person needs, and being able to respond to that with support. With support, really. You know, like I know how to take care of you, I know how to nurture you. Sometimes that's gonna look like me giving you space. Sometimes that's gonna look like me hyping you up. Sometimes that's gonna look like me telling you a joke and getting you to laugh. Sometimes it's gonna be me respecting like your space and giving you time to be alone and you know, like, do you need me to bring you a cup of tea and some cookies? Or this is gonna be me getting you out of the house and going and taking you on an adventure and being spontaneous and having fun. You know, sometimes you need a shoulder to cry on, sometimes you need some really good practical advice. This is me responding to your needs and you responding to my needs. I think that's going to be the dynamic that exists between you two, which is beautiful energy. Okay, let's find out what is happening in your future spouse's love life currently. What is happening for pile two's future spouse, please, Spirit? What is happening in their love life currently? What do we need to know? What is happening in their love life currently? What is happening in their love life currently? I will say, like, I do think of Aries as a protector. So that could also be your future spouse, like really wanting someone, again, who will have their back, who will protect them, who will defend them, someone who's not going to undermine them or betray them or actively hurt them in some way. Okay, pile two, future spouse. What is going on in their love life currently for their future spouse? What is going on? Oops. What is going on in their love life currently for pile two's future spouse? Pile two's, whoa, future spouse. We've got a lot of cards, but that's okay. Okay. So we have let your friends help you, ask for and accept help from others. So this could be that maybe you'll meet your future spouse through mutual friends, or it could just be that they're being really isolated and closed off and they're not asking for help, likely because they don't trust other people to help them. And it could be too that they don't see that they have support available to them because they were in that Five of Pentacles. They were alone. You know, maybe people in their friend circle let them down. Maybe they had to cut some people off, and maybe that's made it difficult for them to form new friendships. But there's just this need here for them to seek support from other people. With trust, this situation is calling for you to have faith. You deserve love. I mean, this is really like, I feel like there's so much doubt there on your future spouse's end. There's so much doubt that they could ever have that Two of Cups. But again, there's that wistfulness, that daydreaming energy I picked up in the very beginning. It's like, it's almost like they still have hope and they still have faith and love. despite what their rational, logical mind is telling them. It's like their heart believes, but their mind is telling them, no, we have to be safe. We have to protect ourselves. We can't be open to love. But their heart hasn't given up. So there's this disconnect between their heart and their rational, logical mind. Now we have unrequited love and we have new love. So I don't think that you know your future spouse. I don't think you know them at all. I think you are the new love. But I think that in the past, they have just been with a lot of people who have not been able to love them in the way that they deserved. And they took that as it being that they are not good enough, when really those people were not good enough for them. You know, it's like Spirit was protecting them, but they didn't recognize it at the time. Like, this person isn't meant for you. And maybe I shouldn't say it like that. I shouldn't say it like they were not good enough for your future spouse, but more so that they were not the right person, but your future spouse was trying really hard to make it work and trying to force it, and it was debilitating to their self-esteem, to their self-worth, because they were staying in connections with people who were not capable of loving them the way that they deserve and the way that they need. And so you are going to be the new love, I think, that clears out this energy, that helps them to fully release it and understand their own self-worth and the fact that they are desirable and they do deserve love. Because I think sometimes they question it. They think, am I good enough? And they struggle with trusting that they could have that Two of Cups, that they could have a healthy, balanced, loving, mutually supportive, and respectful connection. Okay, what is going on in pile 2's future spouse's love life currently? What is going on in pile 2's future spouse's love life currently, please, Spirit? So we have friendship. We have rejection. We have caution and control. Oh yeah, okay. See, this is why we use 2 different oracle cards. And we have patience at the bottom of the deck here. Okay, you guys might not like this message, but it's pretty obvious. Yeah. They need to be patient and wait for you. That's what they need to do. They need to be patient and they need to wait for you to come in. Because this unrequited love that they're clinging to is probably someone that they would consider a friend. Maybe it's, because I see this honestly sometimes in my own like friend circle, where people will be in, I guess you call them these situationships with people that they say are their friend, but clearly they have romantic feelings for, or maybe they're still friends with their ex, but it's obvious that their ex is still using them and hurting them, and for some reason, like, their self-worth, like they need attention or some sort of validation from their ex or from this friend who's treating them like crap. And they call them a friend, but really they're just hurting them, and they can't be honest that they have romantic feelings, and it's this whole mess. That's the kind of the messy situation that's coming out here. Like, either this is an ex that they call a friend, or this is a friend where they're being used and they don't realize it, and it's unrequited love. This is not healthy friendship here. Yeah, they have an unrequited love situation with this person, and they are definitely the ones who have feelings, because we have you deserve love and trust, and maybe their other real friends are telling them to let go of this person, and they're not seeing it, because we have caution, we have control, and we have rejection. So that's telling a pretty clear story, right? Like, I don't have to explain that too much. Like, there's like warning signs all over the place that they need to leave whatever this is alone, and they need to be patient and wait for you to come in, because you're the person they deserve, and the person that they are going to have a happy, healthy marriage with, like a happy, healthy connection with, not this. Like, this is probably what is stopping them from fully calling you in. Like, this is what needs to be cleared away before you can come in. His Spirit is not going to give them, like, you, the blessing of you, until this is cleared away. And I'm sorry if that message is hard to hear, but this is a pretty clear story that is emerging here. And I think it's low self-esteem. You know, like, I think that they think they deserve this, but they deserve so much more than this. And it's like their heart knows it, but in their mind, they're settling for these breadcrumbs that this person is giving them. And it's not good. It's not good. Okay, pile 2. Let's get some months for when they could let this go. Okay, like what month can they potentially let this go, please, Spirit? Let's get 3 possible months, because this is a general reading, so it's going to vary. 3 months here, please, Spirit, for when they could let this go. We have October. I like that because fall is the season for letting go, right? Autumn is the season literally of letting go. We have April, spring, new start. Makes sense also. Woo. And we have August. Okay, so possibly in the summer, spring, or fall. I guess this depends on where you live. I guess I shouldn't say that. Okay, these are potential options here. So if you want to write these down or screenshot these really fast, you can. I'm going to pick them up now, though. And let's see potential months for when you could meet your future spouse. So when could pile 2 meet their future spouse? So we have January, March, and oh wow, that's too many. Just one more, please, Spirit, if we can. November. The way the cards were acting makes me feel like, bottom of the deck you had October, makes me feel like there's a lot of possibilities for you guys to meet. It really depends on how fast they get rid of this, because they can either slow this meeting down or they can speed it up. It depends on how fast they cut this person off and they clear this energy and they heal from it. And I'm sure you guys know that healing is a bit messy, right? Like, cutting someone off can be a bit messy. So it's gonna vary a lot depending on who your future spouse is and their emotional state, right? So that makes the future, I think, really uncertain. So really, like, patience is going to be key here, because this could take a minute or this could take months, right? Like, it depends on your future spouse. It really depends on how much they recognize their own self-worth and that they are better than this. They deserve you. They deserve so much more than this. You know, they don't need to be with someone who's controlling, someone who's rejecting them. Caution tape, I mean, red flags all over the place, unrequited love. This person doesn't care about them. And I hope they see it, like, for the sake of, like, your future marriage and, like, getting the ball rolling. I hope they see it. Okay, pile 2. Let's just end your reading with some cute little matchsticks. What are some things pile 2 and their future spouse may do together once they are in union, please, Spirit? Pile 2 and their future spouse. Pile 2. These are just fun. Okay, we have act like kids together. Cute. So a lot of fun and a lot of playfulness. I'm not surprised, because you had so much fire energy with, you had the sun, you had Aries, and you had fire. So that doesn't surprise me at all. Like, fire signs are very playful. We have plan a secret rendezvous. So planning a date together. So maybe you guys keep your relationship, you know, a bit hush-hush in the beginning. Maybe you don't share a lot. Maybe you're a bit protective over it in the beginning. Yeah, or maybe you guys just plan a getaway, you know, like a spur of the moment vacation once you're married. That could be cute. And then we have pick each other's outfits for a day. Yeah, I feel like there's just going to be a lot of fun and a lot of playfulness in this marriage. Okay, so this was your reading. I hope it resonated. I'm sorry if that wasn't quite what you wanted to hear, but it did come through, and I do want to be honest with you all. Not every message, you know, is going to be necessarily super positive or what you were hoping for. So yeah, so please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you always know when I upload. A big thank you to everyone who has been supporting this channel. I'm so appreciative, and I will see you guys in my next one. Take care, pile 2. All right, on my pile 3s, welcome to your reading. So let's find out what is currently going on at the time that you're finding this reading in your future spouse's life. So this is a timeless reading, doesn't matter when you're watching this, doesn't have to be close to the posted date. I'll say a big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. And your future spouse's higher self is also welcome to come through. Okay, what is going on in their life? Let's find out. Pile 3. And we'll also be finding out specifically what is going on in their love life currently, but we'll get that more towards the end. I want to start with the general overview. Okay, let's find out. Pile 3. Wow, okay. That came out really fast, didn't it? Pile 3, what is going on in your future spouse's life currently? I didn't see this. 3 of Cups. Oh, the Priest again. Okay, interesting. Okay, bottom of the deck here we have 6 of Pentacles. I feel like this is just an energy here of, listen, your future spouse is someone who is very giving, very kind, someone who really wants to sort of use their life's purpose, use their life's work to give back to others. So whether that's literally like, I'm going to donate money to charity, or I'm going to donate my time, or I'm going to donate my resources, or I want to take care of my family, I want to take care of my parents, I want to, you know, help my friends when they need it, or it could just be like, I want to give back in the sense of I want to mentor others, I want to be an inspiration, I want to be a role model, you know, to other people, to show other people like, listen, you can make it, you can be successful like I am. Or, you know, maybe they have younger siblings or someone in their family that like they really want to show them, listen, like if I can do it, you can do it too, and this is how, like, let me help you. So I think they're very giving, and that's coming through for sure. And also, your future spouse is a really successful person, very successful, but that's not to say that they haven't had their challenges. With the Death card here, they've been through a major transformation. They have done a lot of healing, a lot of inner work. I think they have faced a lot of uncertainty in their life with the Moon card here. But I feel like after a period of confusion, of hurt, of like having to go through this major shift, this major transformation, with the Ace of Swords here and the Hermit, they've really gotten to a point of clarity here. I feel like there's something in their life that they had to assess, that they had to get some mental clarity on, and they really had to come back home to themselves. And now they understand a really deeper truth about themselves, and they know who they are. And they're really embodying this Priest energy and this King of Pentacles. So they're coming across again as someone who is very successful, very stable, very reliable, Capricorn, Virgo and Taurus energy is present here with the King of Pentacles. This is divine masculine energy. Also with the priest, this is someone who is very action oriented, someone who's very practical, again, very dependable, very reliable, someone who feels very safe and secure. They're just a really calming presence because they're so grounded and they're so focused on growing that material wealth, growing that abundance in the physical world. They're very tied to the physical world. So that's why I think they had to take some time alone to kind of disconnect from the physical world and get this mental clarity and come home to themselves and understand who they are and what they value. We'll get some clarifiers for this, but that's coming across. I want to see what this Three of Cups is about. And then we'll get clarifiers for the Ace of Swords and the Hermit as well. So can we clarify, please, Spirit, what this Three of Cups is talking about? What is this Three of Cups talking about? Can we clarify, please, Spirit, this Three of Cups? Can we clarify the Three of Cups? Clarifying here. Two of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. I feel like with the Two of Pentacles here, there's this desire to balance being with other people and being with their friends and being responsible for other people, being accountable to other people, and what they need for themselves, their alone time. So they're wanting to balance, or they're trying to balance right now, spending time with other people and meeting their own needs. Because I think, honestly, that your future spouse is responsible for a lot of people, especially because we have the Two of Pentacles here. So I feel like financially, your future spouse could be helping out other people, and they're having to set boundaries and say, listen, I can give this much, but I can't give that much, especially because we had the Six of Pentacles here. So maybe sometimes in the past, your future spouse has given too much. They've shared too much of their own financial resources, and now they're having to set boundaries and say, listen, like, I'm trying to plan for my future, and I have a lot of goals and dreams for myself, and I can help you out, but I can only help you out so much, okay? Because maybe they've had some friends who have taken advantage of their kindness and their generosity in the past. I also think, though, with this Hierophant here, this sense of tradition, this sense of like institution, of finding someone who's a teacher, a mentor. I feel like in some ways, with the Three of Cups here and then the Hierophant clarifying this, it's almost like they're tired of the dating scene. They're tired of like all these short-lived, fun, casual connections, and they're wanting someone stable, someone secure that they can build a future with. You know, they're tired of all of this, like, you know, like short-term fun little flings, and they want something stable and secure. They want something more traditional now. They're ready to settle down, that kind of vibe. But I also kind of interpret this as them finding their place in terms of like, how can I be a role model to others, but to people who deserve it and people who are going to take this advice and use it and not just drain me of my energy and my resources, like people who want to learn, not people who want a handout, okay? Because again, I think some people come to your future spouse with like, can you help me? Can you teach me? But really what they truly want is just for them to share. Basically, like, I want a piece of your pie, but I don't want to work for it. Like your future spouse, for example, could own a business, and so maybe a friend comes to them and says they're struggling, and your future spouse has a very kind heart and wants to help them out, but instead of being like, yeah, I can give you a job, the friend is like, no, I don't want you to give me a job. I just need you to give me $500. You know, like it's that kind of vibe. And I think your future spouse is starting to set boundaries and limits with that and is getting a bit smarter about how much they share and, you know, how much they share with others and who is worthy of them sharing their resources with and who is really just trying to take advantage of them. let's get some clarifiers for this death and this moon card. So Spirit, can we clarify the death card, please? Can we clarify the death card? Let's just see if we can find out some more information. If we can't, I'm not going to push it. There may be some things that your future spouse... Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, they've been through a significant heartbreak. Honestly, maybe depending upon the age, maybe they've been divorced. And following that divorce, they had a lot of like casual flings. You know, they were dating and doing all that. And then they were like, okay, I think I'm finally healed. I think I can finally trust again. I'm open to getting married again. That could be a message. I think for others of you, they just went through a significant heartbreak. And that kind of maybe put them off of wanting to have a serious relationship, and now they're open to it again. Or for others of you, maybe they were a heartbreaker and they had to ask themselves, why do I keep breaking people's hearts? Like, why do I keep doing this? Like, why am I not just single and having fun? Why am I hurting other people in this way? Why am I having these commitment issues? But with the Ace of Swords and the Hermit here, like, they've done their soul searching and they have resolved this. So if that was a thing in the past, everyone has a past, you know, everyone has maybe some things that they're not proud of. I think that they have definitely resolved that. Honestly, I don't feel like we need a clarifier for anything else. I feel like that was pretty straightforward. Okay, yeah. So just take whichever message resonates. You know, if something isn't clicking, just leave it. And we'll get more information on that too when we pull your love oracle cards at the end. Okay, pile 3. What is going on currently in your future spouse's life? Pile 3, please, Spirit. What is going on currently in your future spouse's life? I don't want to take that many cards, so... Ooh, I haven't seen this card come out yet. This is still a new deck for me, so... Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. I love when the oracle cards just line up so well with the tarot. It makes me so happy. Okay, we have afterlife. Where are we going now? Transition, transformation, and rebirth. This is the death card, y'all. Like, they have died, and now this is the afterlife, okay? Not literally, obviously, metaphorically, but they've been through this death energy, okay? And now they've come out on the other side. They have cleared this. They have transformed. They have done their healing. And now they're at a point where they're like, where do I go now? What do I do? That's where that soul searching came through with the Hermit and the Ace of Swords. That's why they had to go through that period of isolation, because they had to figure out where it was they wanted to go, okay? And now they want to go towards marriage again. They want to go towards connection. That's at least one of the things they are being guided towards right now. But yeah, they had to go through this rebirth. I think they went through a major change, and they had to ask themselves, what kind of person do I want to be? Because if they were a heartbreaker in the past, I can bet you anything they weren't honest, they weren't stable, they weren't secure, they weren't reliable and dependable, and you know, all those good words we were associating with them in the beginning, they weren't showing up like that if they were breaking people's hearts, right? And so they had to come home to themselves. They had to say, like, what kind of person do I want to be? And now they are embodying that, like, safe and secure, stable energy, okay? And if they themselves were hurt, you know, and this was like a painful divorce or something like that, it was still that idea of like, well, what do I want now in a partner? Because it's certainly not my ex. Like, this was not good for me. So where do I want to go now? How, what kind of partnership is going to benefit me? And so they had to go through that soul searching. They had to ask that question, but they've cleared this energy, you know, so they're kind of, they're really at a new start, a fresh chapter, you know, they've cleared away all that wasn't serving them. So we have mushroom dimension, everything is connected, connection, magic, and openness. I do feel like your connection to your future spouse is divinely guided. I feel like divine timing is going to play a pretty significant role here. And I think there's going to be something magical about how you two come into union together. So you could have like a really cool story of how you meet. Maybe there's some serendipity, you know, some like synchronicities that you see before you meet them. Maybe you have like a meet cute and like a rom-com. Maybe you have like, again, like a very cute love story about how you come into each other's lives. But there's definitely a strong spiritual connection here. And then we have ego trap, check yourself, ego, judgmental thinking, and superior, Lord, I can't even say it. Sorry guys, you're pile 3 and I'm getting a little bit tired. I also filmed this like after I've been at work all day, and I talk heavily at my job. It's a part of my job, so by the time I like get to your reading, I am a bit tongue-tied, so I apologize. But it says superior, Lord, the more I say it, the more I try, the more I fail at saying this, because now I'm in my head about it. Okay, I'm going to try it one more time. If I can't say it, I can't say it. Superior, I can't say it. As soon as I stop this reading, I'm going to be able to say it just fine. I can spell it. Okay. They have an ego complex right now, okay? I think this is something that maybe they've dealt with in the past, but I think it's still there, okay? And I think it's honestly a byproduct of them being so successful. I think they've really had to work really hard for their success. I think they've been through a lot, and it's kind of hard for them to not sometimes go into that pride area, because it's almost like a defense mechanism for them. It's like, I have to really build myself up because of this. Like, my love life is not what I want it to be at all. And so to sort of protect my ego, I have to build it up. I have to have this attitude that I am so successful, I am too good for this, that, and the third. And I think they find comfort in their success, in their status that they've achieved in life, because that makes them feel better that they don't have the love that they're craving so desperately. Because I feel like they're really craving love right now. They're really craving connection right now, and they don't have it. So to protect themselves, they're sort of like, well, no one's good enough, and like, I deserve better, and I'm independent, and I don't need anybody. You know, it's kind of, that's the ego trap right there. They are telling themselves that they don't need anyone. That's what it is. I don't need anyone. Everyone needs people. We all need community. We all need connection. But they are telling themselves, even though they want love, even though they want to be married again, if they've been married before, maybe not for some of you, but I do think for a lot of you, they've been through a divorce, or at least, again, an ending of a significant long-term relationship. There was something there, some great big heartbreak that really did a number on them, or, you know, they were breaking a lot of hearts themselves, something like that, but they're telling themselves they don't need anybody. That's what they're telling themselves. Even though they know that's not going to make them happy, to protect their ego, that's what they're telling themselves. Okay, let's get some astrological information, some zodiac signs, some houses. What do we need to know, please, Spirit, about where pile 3's superiority complex is just bothering me? Okay. Pile 3. Oh man, I'm getting silly now. I'm getting tired. Pile 3, what do we need to know about where your future spouse is currently? Radical change. Yeah, I would say so with the death and the afterlife card. Yeah, there's radical change here. And I think a lot of it is in how, oh my God, yes, geez. A lot of it is in how they view and respond to other people in their life and their view of themselves and love. Like there's so much there about transformation and how they relate to other people. Like stop giving too much to the wrong people. Set boundaries. You know, don't get too much in your ego. Stop thinking that you're better than other people because that's just a defense mechanism. You acting like you work so hard and you're so successful is true, but it doesn't make you any better than anybody else, and it's just the shell that you're wearing on the outside so you don't have to deal with the fact that you're alone. And you keep saying you're so independent, I don't need anybody, I can take care of myself, I'm good, I just care, I'm just gonna count my money and I'm good. You're not good. Your future spouse, like I'm talking to your future spouse right now, they're not good. They need you. They need a partner. And so I feel like there's a lot too about, I picked this up with pile 2 as well, but there's a lot here about them daydreaming, about them having visions in their dreams, being uncertain, but trying to see beyond their day-to-day and envision a different future for themselves with Neptune here. This is Pisces energy, okay? And then we have radical change. So there's definitely radical change that is happening here, but it's not just in their external world. A lot of this radical change, honestly, is within their own mindset and their own view of love, and again, like how they relate to other people. And with Chiron being here, Chiron represents our deepest wound, our deepest emotional wound, our first wound. It usually occurs in childhood. It's like our first big heartbreak. You know what? The first thing that truly hurts our heart, that is Chiron. Something that hurts our soul, hurts our ego. And so I feel like that is sort of a response. Like someone deeply hurt them. And so because they were heartbroken, because they didn't feel like they were good enough, because they didn't feel like they were deserving of love, they have this exaggerated response where they overcompensate, and they may come off as arrogant sometimes. They really, with this ego trap, they might come off as arrogant, but it's a defense mechanism, okay? Like they don't want to show this wound. They don't want to show this hurt. And so they're working through it. Okay, they're working through it. They are healing. They are releasing this, okay? They're dealing with this wound. And by dealing with this, I am sure this is going to allow them, with sextile energy here, this is going to allow them to come into union with you. Let's see if we can get any more information. I'm going to pull a couple more cards for you than I did for the other groups. But pile 3, anything more we need to know? We have Gemini here. Anything more we need to know? Yep, okay, we kind of have Gemini energy twice here. Well, really 3 times, because we have the Lovers here, we have Gemini, and then we have Mercury, which rules Gemini. So yeah, a lot here about communication. I feel like they're really changing how they talk to other people, but also how they talk to themselves. I feel like they are definitely getting out of that isolated Hermit card energy. They're starting to socialize again, and maybe they are starting to be a little bit more willing to share their story and talk to other people, because Gemini is all about communication. It is more surface level though, so I think they are still in that playful, like wanting to flirt and mingle with people, but there's this radical change that's kind of happening below the surface where they are craving that deep love and connection. They are wanting to get married. They do want that long-term commitment. And I feel like too, like your future spouse is just someone who is really intelligent and someone who's great at networking and someone who is like a lifelong learner and someone who has many talents and someone who is great at communicating and great at leading other people, and someone who's really likable and really sociable and does well in a variety of social situations. So and I think friendship is really important to them. They've just had some friends who have taken advantage of them. They've dealt with maybe some two-faced people. That could also be a possibility there. With the second house, though, I think that they do like really fall back on this heavily. Like they really fall back on their what their possessions are, what their material wealth is, what their success is, what their status is. Those Taurus kind of concerns of like the physical, the material world, their physical security, but also their like just their abundance financially. Like they really fall back into that, and they really tie their self-worth to their financial abundance, to their productivity level, to their status in life. That's really what they tie their self-worth to. Yeah, that's something that I think that is still something they're trying to learn, something they're still trying to kind of clear and separate themselves from. Yeah, they definitely work hard. They are really into their career, majorly. Okay, what is going on in pile 3's future spouse's life currently? Pile 3's future spouse's life. Pile 3's future spouse's life. Pile 3's. Okay. So we have the skunk and magnolia, protection, and we have the bobcat and blackthorn, we have patience, and we have the hawk and thistle, graceful persistence. All 3 of these cards kind of are sending the same message to me, that your connection is divinely guided. Like this, your future spouse is going to come in at the right time, okay? At the time when you both are in energetic alignment with one another, and you both are ready for this connection, and you have basically like the best possible chance for success, okay? Like your guides, like both of you, your guides are really wanting to make sure that this marriage lasts, okay? And so clearly, like your future spouse is still working through some things. You may be working through some things as well, okay? Like if you're being really honest with yourself, you could be working through some stuff too. But on their end, from what I'm seeing, like they do still have some things that they are working through, because they're going through like this radical change, this deep transformation. Like they're clearing out a lot, okay? So I feel like there's just this idea here that like you're divinely protected, this union, like have some patience, like this element here of divine timing, and this graceful persistence too kind of makes me feel like your future spouse, just in their life, in their career, they are so hardworking, but they do it so well. It's kind of like that type of person who does a million things in a day, but they still have a smile on their face. Like they genuinely seem to enjoy working. And they're sort of like that person, you're like, how do they do it? Like, how do they manage all of it? Sort of like a magician. Like, how are they doing this? It's like by magic. So other people are like, how do they get done everything they get done in a day? So I think your future spouse is likely like really organized, maybe a bit type A. They're definitely an overachiever, someone who's so smart. You know, Gemini energy, really great at multitasking and balancing a couple things. Several things at one time. Someone who's like really fast, quick, witty. Again, like fast energy. Mercury is so fast. So I feel like your future spouse's mind is always moving a mile a minute. They're really quick on their feet. They're creative problem solvers. Yeah, I mean, of course, they're so successful in their career. It makes so much sense that they would be. Okay. And then we have the otter and cattail, and this is peace. So we have like all this fast moving energy with Gemini, right? Showing up over and over again. And then we have peace. So I feel like when you come into union together, there's going to be this slowing down that's really helpful for your future spouse. But I think also this is the guiding force right now that is moving you and your future spouse together, because your future spouse, whether they recognize it or not, they need peace, okay? Like they need to settle down, okay? Like they have been going and going and going for so long. Like the little Energizer pink bunny just came into my mind. But it's like they've been going and going for so long that they have forgotten how to stop. And so they need more balance. They need more balance in their life. Okay. Because they juggle a lot. Remember, we got the Two of Pentacles in the very beginning. They juggle a lot. Okay, let's move into what you're probably most interested in. What is going on in their love life currently? Let's find out. Okay. Put these to the side. What is going on in pile 3's future spouse's love life currently, please, Spirit? What is going on in their love life currently? Pile 3's future spouse, please, Spirit. Okay, that was fast. Interesting, okay. Pile 3's future spouse. Huh. Give me a second. Let me just look at this for a minute. Okay. I don't know how some of you are going to feel about this, but I was sensing this in the beginning, and maybe I downplayed it a little bit. And if this message doesn't resonate, then leave it. But for some of you, I just got the confirmation of like that little thing I was thinking in the very beginning. You know how there's kind of this stereotype, or maybe this trope that you see. I shouldn't say trope because I'm talking about like real life people here. Russell Brand comes to mind. So for those of you who don't know, like he was someone who, he's a comedian, right? And an actor and a bunch of other stuff. But he was known in England, like I think he got Shagger of the Year like in some newspaper, but he was known for being with so many women, like an insane, ridiculous amount. And he has talked about having addiction issues with substances, but also having like a sex addiction. And he's talked about this pretty openly. He's a very open person. And so he kind of had a whirlwind romance with Katy Perry, and they got married. Their marriage didn't last very long, and they got divorced. And I wouldn't say it was necessarily like a contentious divorce, but there was definitely like some hard feelings. Like he, I think, broke up with her over text message, but I'm sure there was a lot more to that story. And yes, so then I think maybe he went back to his old ways for a little while. You know, he was dating around, doing whatever. He's also a Gemini. So I think that's why. And to me, he's like the perfect celebrity example of a Gemini. But he was very successful in his career. Like, he is worth millions of dollars. He has been successful in like multiple things like comedy and acting, and he has a YouTube channel and all this. And he's like written some books. Like, he's done a lot, right, with his career. He's very successful. He definitely talks about having a big ego a lot of the times. So this is something he's like openly talked about, right? He's talked about having to work through that, and you know, he's into meditation and all this now. So yes. Then he got married. Okay, he settled down, he had children. Before he got married, he was really, really, really wanting kids. And he was talking about really wanting to be a father. And so I think he actually, I could be wrong on this, but I think he ended up having a baby with his partner before they got married. But that is kind of how I'm seeing this go, okay? For some of you. Again, this is just some of you, okay? I know some of you aren't going to like this message, and I'm sorry, but this like came, I don't know, like this story just unfolded like clear as a bell with these oracle cards. So, for some of you, your future spouse has broken some hearts in their day, okay? Like, they have. And maybe they've gone through a divorce. And I think right now they are really wanting to be a parent, and they're really wanting to settle down, okay? They're really wanting that really badly. And I think part of it is that they're wanting a legacy. They're wanting someone to pass on everything that they've learned. If they have a business, they literally want to pass it on to their children. They literally want to instill this knowledge onto their children. They want someone to carry on the family name, like they're thinking about this. Or they just really want more from life than just these material possessions. They want someone to share that with. And they want to share it with a partner, and they want to share it with their children. They're like, when I die, I'm going to have all this money. Who's it going to go to? Like, that's literally what they are thinking. And so it could be that when you meet your future spouse, maybe you do have children before you get married, or maybe this person is going to tell you like off the bat, like, listen, I really want to start a family. So if you're not interested in having kids, this might not work out. Now, for others of you, maybe if your future spouse has been married before, maybe they do have children. Maybe they already have children already. And so that could be something that you two have to discuss. For others of you, in the past, there was some major heartbreak where their love was not reciprocated, and they threw themselves into their work. They were really disconnected from the present moment because they were always focused on their future and their goals, and they haven't put a lot of effort into love. And so when you come in, you really represent this new chapter, and they are going to start paying attention to the present moment. They are going to start taking time for themselves to enjoy life and not just working to work, okay? But again, like, that was the message that came through. So if you don't resonate with the first half of what I was talking about with the Russell Brand analogy, then please just leave it. But I do think that either your future spouse is really wanting children, or they already have children. That is clear as a bell here, okay? So take it or leave it. If you really don't want kids, maybe you picked the wrong pile, or maybe you're going to change your mind at some point just by knowing this person. I don't know. They definitely have the financial resources, though, to take care of children. I mean, that message has come through over and over again. They have some money, okay? Okay, let's see here. We'll get some more information. We're going to use another Love Oracle deck here. What is going on in Pile 3's future spouse's higher self? What is going on in their love life? Pile 3's future spouse. What is going on in Pile 3's future spouse's love life? Currently, please, Spirit. Yeah, I do think that they are pretty established in life. Like, this is definitely a mature connection. Okay, bottom of the deck we have regret. I think if they have hurt people in the past, they have a lot of regret about that. I think maybe they have a lot of regret maybe about not being honest with people about their commitment issues, or not being honest that they weren't looking for something long term, or if there was cheating in the past or lying or something like that. I feel like they do deeply regret it. For those of you who are like, no, I'm not marrying someone who would be like that, then but people do change, right? People do change. For those of you not resonating with that message, then this is just talking about them really regretting whatever this was, whether this was a past divorce or some really big heartbreak. They have a lot of regret about it. They wish it had never happened. But they have done their healing, okay? So regardless whether they were a heartbreaker or whether they had their heart broken, they've done their healing. I mean, we've gotten healing messages over and over again. We got the death card in the beginning with the transformation. We got the afterlife card. They have done their healing for sure. And then with influence there, I feel like there's just a lot of people in their life with a lot of different opinions. And I think, honestly, this is probably why your future spouse has some trust issues, is that everyone wants a piece of their pie because they are wealthy. And I feel like people want to take advantage of those resources. And so they try to influence them in a way that's going to benefit them. And so they can get a bit of your future spouse's resources here, for sure. Because think about it, like if your future spouse is single, they're not spending that money on anyone else. So maybe there's some people in their life that don't want them to get married, that don't want them to have kids, because they want your future spouse to leave their money to them, or they want your future spouse to continue to let them borrow money. And they know if your future spouse had a partner, the partner may say like, hey, why are you giving that person so much money? They never pay you back. Stuff like that, honestly. But I do think your future spouse is learning to set better boundaries, okay? They are. Because again, like, they are big givers, for sure. And then with flirts, I think this is them coming out of their shell and then getting back into it. Again, I do think that they have, like, they kind of fall back again on that, like, Gemini energy of, like, being really flirtatious, and they're probably a smooth talker. That's why I said, like, maybe they were a heartbreaker, because I think that they're good with their words. They feel like they're really good at telling people what they want to hear. And so, yeah, I do think they are very flirtatious, very playful. Yeah, for sure, for sure. But I do think that they have grown up, they have evolved, we have maturity here. So if they were a heartbreaker, they have grown up a bit. They have, which is great. It's good to see growth, right? And then we have balance. I feel like this is what they've been trying to achieve for a long time. I don't think it was consciously, but I do think that they've been trying to balance, because they present with really, really strong divine masculine energy, like full force divine masculine energy, okay? And I think that probably when you come in, you're gonna help them bring in that divine femininity. You're gonna balance them out, because I feel like this is what they need, and they don't maybe realize it yet, but they need this. They need this. Okay. Let's get your matchsticks, and then we'll be done with your reading. So this is just a fun way to end your reading. What are some things that pile 3 and their future spouse will do together once they're married? Oh, you get 4. Lucky pile 3. Okay. So we have try exercising together. Your future spouse, I swear, like, that is so, like, on brand for them that they would want to do that. Like, I could definitely see them being really into health and fitness, and, you know, really caring about their body and, like, how they present outwardly. Yeah, that's so your future spouse, pile 3. That's so them. Okay, we have Act like tourists in your own city or town. I do feel like there's a goofy, playful side to them that you're really gonna bring out. You're gonna bring them out of that like serious work mode. Because I do with Gemini, like they like to have fun. So I feel like you're gonna bring out that positive side to them. And then we have rendezvous at a restaurant and pretend you're meeting for the first time. Yeah, I could see them being into that. Because they like the flirtiness. So there's probably going to be a lot of like witty banter between you guys. Yeah, for sure I could see that. And then we have put your favorite music on and have an impromptu dance party. Yeah, there's a lot of fun playfulness that's being shown in this marriage for sure. Okay, so pile 3, this was your reading. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you always know when I upload. A big thank you to everyone who has been supporting this channel. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in my next one. Please take care, pile 3.